on the final round of round-robin play in the Heartland Championship. But we're going to start in Buller with the West Coast Buller clash. It's always an important game, perhaps never more so than this week. And our chance to say Buller to Barry.
Yes, well, good afternoon and welcome along to Victoria Square in Westport, where we have the Heartland Championship game, the final one of the season in the round-robin competition between Electro Services Buller, and they take on their rivals West Coast. Well, what an important game this is today for both teams. But also at stake, this 100-year-old trophy, the Rundle Cup, first presented in 1911 for competition between West Coast and Buller. It is the oldest provincial cup between two unions in New Zealand. Certainly has a lot of history, and I'm sure that in the minds of both teams, this trophy will be up for grabs at the end of the game.
Yeah, they're all fizzing for this game. It means a lot to them.
Yeah, you've been involved in a couple of these matches before. Buller West Coast, it doesn't matter where you are on the table, where you sit, having the Rundle Cup at stake as well as those Heartland Championship points, very crucial.
Oh yes, it is, Barry. They're always going to lift for this game, and both teams, they know the importance of it, and just speaks for the life of the trophy, I suppose.
Now, students of Buller rugby will recognise the name Tom Stewart. He played about 1 million games for Buller as a loose forward. Well, forget him. There's a new bloke on the block. Luke Brownlee there in number 7 is today playing his 134th game for Buller. That's pretty special, but it's 134 consecutive games for Buller. Hasn't missed one.
It's always a lot of passion there. It doesn't matter where both teams are on the table. If one of the teams beats the other, well, the season's been a success by the locals. So it's something we're really looking forward to. And, we've come here to have a real good crack at Buller. So.
The West Coast team full of experience, especially in the forwards. It seems to be a thing here in the Heartland Championship. Alan Monk leads the side from number 7. He's an inspirational captain. Rowan O'Gorman at number 8, the truck. He's been around for years and years and years. What team's he supporting in the Rugby World Cup? I'll bet you can guess. There it is, the Rundle Cup. That's what they play for when West Coast play Buller.
Inside West Coast territory, now back to Gibson playing at first 5-8, up to Naven below. He crashes through the West Coast backs there too, flips it back inside to Neighbours, gives it up there to Greaves, heading towards the 22-metre mark, West Coast territory. Finally put down on the ground there by Monk, the West Coast flanker. Stevens gets it up there to Titai, crashes through the prop Fanaki, finally puts him down just inside the 22 West Coast territory. Buller going in, trying to push West Coast out of it, and Gibson back into play at halfback. He's going to work the short side, up there to Rossiter. Rossiter goes crashing into the Monk there for West Coast. Comes back again to Gibson. Up there to Titai. Got nowhere to go, so he goes forward. Lays it back. Buller stores it under control. Back here to Gibson now at first 5-8. Up there to Naven of Blue. Slips it back to Sakuru. Sakuru slips one way. Under the goalpost here. They're about 5 metres out. Buller, they're on attack. Up there to Naven of Blue playing at first 5-8. Slips it back inside there to Neighbours. Neighbours gets put down. Good defence here from West Coast. They are defending their goal line stoutly there, trying to push the Buller players off it there. And West Coast, have they managed to counter-ruck? No, Buller. And they go. Luke Brownlee's got it, trying to force it forward. Gibson's got it on the short side to Naven of Blue, gives it up to Phil Beveridge, and they won't stop the big prop for Buller. Phil Beveridge scores a try. West Coast, they fell off the tackles in midfield as first Naven of Blue and then Sakuru cut through. Scott and Neighbours it was, though, who finally set it up. Towards the front it goes, taken there by Coleman. Stevens attempts to go for a little run, but slips over and comes back now, playing at half-back there as Knox. Gives it up to Elliott, first 5-8. He gives it back to Gibson. He says, here, you have it. And Gibson puts a kick down and taken back there by the winger right. Goes across field, 10-metre mark, West Coast territory. Tries to slip it up there to Robert Thompson. He doesn't want it, he just loses it forward. Buller over the top of them here, 10-metre mark, Coast territory. And it's coming back on the Buller side. Coming away to the right here. Sakuru again at first 5-8. There goes the kick, waiting back there, the number 8 O'Gorman. Takes the fair catch, quickly takes it. Decides to come to the short side. No one in front of him. Gets it across here to Gabriel, is it? No, back in there to O'Gorman. Up to go the flanker, McCauley it is. Racing down, he's got Gibson coming across. Oh, the pass was forward. The referee went to blow the whistle, and he hasn't. He's let it go. And it's a try to West Coast. Gareth Little has scored the try, and the touch judge and referee conferring now, and he's let it go, and he's going to give the try. Well, it was right down in front of us. The pass was forward, and West Coast continued to play, and Gareth Little has scored the try for West Coast right by the post. 15 points to 12 after 35 minutes of play. 22-metre mark he's on as he comes in now. There goes the kick, and that looks pretty good. No, again, that one's just gone to the right of the post. Going into half-time, Electro Services Buller 15, West Coast 12. Buller needing to win this game. West Coast also wanting to take it out for that opportunity to get a semi-final next weekend. And, of course, both teams wanting to get their hands on the Arundel Cup. 100 years of competition. And into the line out it goes. Greaves overtaken down by him. Mundy takes it off him. Goes forward 4 or 5 metres to Logan Mundy. Comes back now to Stevens waiting for it. And he gets it out there to Gibson. Gibson up there to Titai again, crashing into the middle there. Monk tries to pick him up, but still going Titai. Gone to ground now. Gibson changes the point of direction up to Gibson. First 5-8 Gibson now on the far side to Sam Maris. Tries to run round his marker on the far side there, right. Inside the 22-metre mark, Coast territory. Robbed the ball away, West Coast. Good work. Taken to ground. Buller trying to rip it off Coast, reaching over. West Coast have it under control there. The referee can see it there. Coast have got it. Buller in counter-rucking, and as it coming loose, it comes up to Tupaloa, is it? Comes around to the left-hand side towards the 22-metre mark, Coast territory. Trying to run with it now is Hoosen. Oh, slips out of his hands, and the referee says, well, he's blowing the whistle. He's having a yarn to a couple of the Coast players, is it? He's having a yarn to the captain, Monk. What went on there? He's yellow carded one of the... Well, the referee knows it's Brad Houston who's been yellow carded. Lines up the post. The rain coming down. There goes the kick, and that has gone over. 8-10 metres inside Buller's territory now. West Coast, they've got it. Buller attempting to counter-ruck. They're going on over the top. West Coast, oh, Murphin's got it there. Up the jumper stuff. Fires it back there to Little. He spots a gap through the middle. And Mundy pulls him down just by the collar, does he? Holds him up. And now he gets thrown to ground there. Buller, though, they can't get the ball. Coast have got it there. Again, Murphin's in there. Flips it up there to his captain, Monk. Monk fires it back inside to Ward. Slips over there. And the tackle there of Michael Mumm. And this time it's a penalty to West Coast right out in front. And Buller, Scott McElroy it is, not letting the tackler go, right out in front. And West Coast, what's Alan Monk going to do here? What's he going to decide he's going to do? He'll take the points, will he? Down by 21 points to 12. Corey Deans. Right under the black dot. Comes in. There goes the kick. It's not going to deviate any. And it's all over here at Victoria Square with Electro Services Buller coming out of it with a win over old rivals West Coast by 21 points to 15.
Well, congratulations to Electro Services Buller captain Phil Rossiter. Phil, a very hard-fought victory here over old foes West Coast.
Yeah, it was, Barry. I guess that's the hallmark of our games with Coast. It doesn't really matter what formally the team brings into that into the game. It's always a pretty hardly contested affair, and it was no different today. So yeah.
A little bit of extra there with the Arundel Cup at stake.
Yeah, 100 years. So there's a lot of history there, and it always means a lot. But I don't think you need a Arundel Cup to make a Buller West Coast game a big derby as well. So yeah, big game.